Hello.
Hi.
Hey, you know how downstairs you have like the garage and then you have the like subterranean layer where the lighting is like dim or maybe moderately like sensual? I feel like we're legally obligated to start a podcast on account of the acoustics are real bad down there.
I think you're right. Come on in.
Okay. And also we're two white guys and we have a unique perspective that is unmatched by any other demographic. People need to hear what we have to say.
Excellent points. So this is kind of all I have to work with. We might have to spruce up the joint a little bit.
The ambiance is nice, like the granary in Monticello, Utah.
What do you think we should call it? The podcast needs a name.
I think it should be called
Wait a second here. I think it should be called something that nobody's going to have a clue about what it means. So it's always a mystery.
the Gaffro Podcast.
I actually like the Gaffro podcast more than the idea that I originally came up with. However, the children might be offended.
Children, you can Gaffro. And if you don't know what that means, then go back to YouTube Kids.
But stay here and like and subscribe, and also steal your mother's laptop. Subscribe.
Please come back to this video from your father or mother or guardian's account and hit subscribe.
What's the problem back there?
Oh, I thought you guys were like totally.
Yeah, we're being cute.
You better not call me gay.
Better not call us gay after this. Not that there's anything wrong with being gay.
This is a pro-gay podcast.
Attention, Zems and gays. Are we actually going to color this?
I think we should do something with it.
Yeah.
This is a sound check.
Shema Yisrael, Yahweh Eloheinu, Merek Ha'olam. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. The election of 1876 was a shamble and we've never recovered as a country.
Are we ready?
Mr. Producer, please adjust the lighting.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, this is a podcast hosted by two definitely heterosexual white men in a basement. We're sitting very close together and we're alone, and the aura is sensual. But that is a coincidence.
But also, I like it.
Okay, here's the thing. I don't know how to start a podcast episode. But I do know that when I was a child, every week at the conclusion of the Shabbos, we would have a family meeting.
Mm.
And we would do that by following a book called Robert's Rules of Order because we were a normal household.
Mm-hmm.
And so that will help me to start this. I now call this podcast to order.
Do I have to say like here?
No, you need to shut up because you don't have the floor. This would work better if you had read Robert's Rules of Order, you Luddite. This is a podcast, and it is called The Tall Grass
Podcast.
This is
This is a podcast.
this is a podcast.
Here's the thing. Episode 1 of the Tall Grass Podcast is going to be us trying to figure out how to conduct a podcast because we don't really know what we're doing. And yeah, we could hire somebody to teach us, but that would be not any fun at all. And so what we're going to do is hash things out live and in your face.
And you'll tell us how we can improve this podcast.
But if you're too mean, our feelings will get hurt and we will block you.
I will not block you, but I will make a passive-aggressive video on some platform using your comment.
Apparently, we are not on the same page here. And normally, we would have had a pre-production meeting where we hashed all this out with just our faces. But since we're doing this out of the box, I guess we're just going to get in our first fight live on the air.
I want to circle back to something that Joe said earlier, which is that we had a pre-production meeting, but we spent all of that time making art. And it's behind us right now. We worked very hard on it.
Please rate my tall grass.
Please rate my lettering, specifically key in on the S's. I feel like that's where my real strength lies. Grass.
Oh, it's not really stable.
Okay. Anyways, this is podcast, and now I will introduce your hosts. One of them is sitting next to me. His name is Joseph P. Separation. And
Can I just say something?
yes.
I've been toiling about the idea of just going with my government name. Is that a good bit? You've been doing it for a while.
Going by my government name?
Yeah.
You revealing the existence of a government name is really going to kill this 8 paragraphs that I
Oof.
just wrote as an introduction.
Okay, understood.
But we'll wing it.
From the top.
From the top.
I am Joseph P. Separation.
Joseph P. Separation was born in the spring of 1979. Which means, obviously, that his parents got it on in an act of holy insemination in the late summer, early fall of 1978. Which is why, to this day, Joseph becomes inexplicably aroused near the beginning of football season every year. Has something to do with his conception. He grew up in Thurston County, which is a good place to live by all the measurable data and crime statistics. But while he was in Thurston, he has a hell of it. You can't see, he's modest. He's covering up his biceps right now, but they're incredibly large.
Also, my Nintendo was stolen from me in Thurston County when I was a freshman in high school. Somebody just walked right into my house and took my belongings and my Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card and a foul ball that I found at a Mariners game.
I was not raised in Thurston County, but I had good parents. They just didn't allow me to have things that would be valuable enough to get stolen. My dad said, play with this rock.
I would just like you to update your crime statistics and your data.
Okay, updating. Clickety clack. Joe is from Thurston County, and it is a shithole. While he was there in Thurston County, he was on the baseball team, and he threw something called a no-hitter at the top of the 7th inning, I think. I don't know a lot about baseball. Check the Wikipedia page for verification. But his arm is a weapon. In fact, later on in life, when he joined the United States Army, they made him sign a waiver for bringing his own weapon to basic training. And he won't show you right now because he's wearing the sweatshirt, but he has a very prominent and sexy barbed wire tattoo around one of his biceps in solidarity with former adult actress Pamela Anderson.
I had mine first.
Okay, she stole his bit, which is ironic because normally he steals my bits. It's a circle of life.
But also, I got into the adult film industry after her, so we're even.
Were you guys ever in it together at the same time? In the
No.
same room?
I only like dudes.
Okay. Attention, editor. Please take out the part about 2 heterosexual men from the beginning of this podcast.
They better not call me gay.
I sure hope they don't. Anyways, I was trying to introduce you, but
This is a monologue?
you don't want to be introduced, and that's fine. But what I was getting at is that Joe, he went to the Army. He was in some province with a name in Afghanistan, where he, for approximately 11 months, watched pirated DVDs that he bought from some locals and then got incredibly sad in the sand for 11 months. And then he came home to these United States and he said, now that I have served our country honorably, I would like to now pick up trash for a living. He became a trash boy man. A trash man, if you will. And he did that, and then he started to be a Coca-Cola man. And then he went back to being a trash man, and then he got another job. He quit that job. Then he went back to Coca-Cola, and then he started the same other job again, and then rage quit after about 6 months. And then it's hard to keep track of, but he's quit jobs 17 times and has come back stronger every time.
Literally, that's why I have the squat racks.
That is... It's going off the rails. And what I'm getting at is, if anything, Joseph P. Separation is inconsistent. He will start something and then quit it and then start it again, but differently. Like, for instance, he did videos. He said, I'm doing a video every day. And they were terrible videos. They were 18 minutes long, but a bunch of people watched them because they like watching Joe finger fiddle water bottles into cup holders. And then all of his finger fiddling.
He touches the bottle.
He touches the bottle. He did that a bunch of times, and then a bunch of people followed him. I don't know.
Not literally.
I don't know why, but that's the people that followed him are not smart people, and that's why he had to change his name to Joe Seppi, because they couldn't handle all of the syllables and separation. See how when you were going to say you were going to go back to your government name, that was really going to fuck up that joke that I was leading up to?
Mm-hmm. I understand now.
I don't even think it hit hard, that particular joke. But okay, I'm going to wrap this up. This is Joe Seppi. He's fine. And I'm your other co-host. My name is Jesse Barrymore, and I shit myself on average 0.8 times per Gregorian calendar year. In summary, Joe is inconsistent and I am incontinent. And this is a podcast.
Quick break while we go to our sponsor. Now, you guys might be wondering, or you might not be wondering, but I'm going to tell you anyway. How did we cross paths? Well, something we're not going to hide on the Tallgrass podcast is that we met and not only fell in love instantly. It was doing a thing that we used to love to do and probably love a little less currently, which is why we're no longer doing that thing that we used to love. I'm just going to say it, the F word.
Okay.
Flatbedding.
Flatbedding.
We used to be flatbedders. We used to be piece of garbage, dirty flatbedders.
And the content is still available exclusively on Grindr.
You can search Grindr.
You can search Grindr and you will find our flatbedding videos.
So that is where we met, and that is the bond that is unbreakable to this day. And we're not going to shy away from our past. If you guys have questions about flatbedding, I won't be able to answer any of them because I've been out of the game too long. It's been at least 10 months because I'm in the union now. I'm a piece of garbage union scumbag. So are you. Congratulations.
Thank you. I just made it into the union. I now take several coffee breaks.
And we are aggrieved regularly.
Yeah, I file grievances on a daily basis. Something I couldn't do when I worked for piece of garbage private entities.
However, we will not speak ill of our former employer. Will we speak? Oh, we didn't really.
We didn't really talk about it. Okay, I want to talk about. Okay, so
can we just agree to be not mean, but maybe just really passive aggressive?
I would appreciate the opportunity to be incredibly passive and or aggressive towards not the entity that was our former employer, but like very specific people that worked there.
Oh, names?
Matt Ellsworth.
Okay.
Specifically.
Sidebar?
Yeah, sidebar.
All right. Are we going to need a lawyer?
Don't lawyers follow? Aren't you super famous on the internet?
Oh, actually, now that you say that, I might not have any lawyers, but I might have like an activist.
Oh, I have some activists on my For You page. Yeah. I don't think that they'll help us, but
yeah, we're definitely on our own. We're going to be in prison here soon just because all this slander. Was it liable?
I think if it's libel, you have to write it down, and we didn't write anything.
I don't even know how to read or write.
Yeah,
we're fine.
I think if we just say things, then we're fine.
Oh, and we could just say it's satire.
Someone very wise once told me, "Say it and forget it."
This is a parody account.
Regret it. This is all parody.
Allegedly. But sometimes it might be a touch of serious and truth.
So anyways, there's this guy named Matt Ellsworth. He worked at this place that we used to work at. And a few days ago, Joe and I said, you know what we ought to do is start a podcast. And then we were talking about first of all, what would we say? And I think you guys can tell that that's been a non-issue so far. Everything we've said has been incredibly direct, concise, and informative.
Yeah.
But anyways, I was thinking about what to call. I was thinking about this name called The Situation Room, and it didn't stick. But I was thinking about that because like he's got like multiple televisions in here. I call it The Situation Room. In here is Joe's basement, by the way. That's where we're at. And I was thinking, we'll call it The Situation Room. And then I was remembering that when we worked at that other place where Matt Ellsworth worked, there was a room in there where I got in trouble a lot. Like when I worked in the office, they would call me in there occasionally, and then they would close the door and they would say, "So anyways, Jesse, you got to fill out this form on account of that thing that you said earlier." And that room is called The Situation Room. But you weren't allowed to call it that. If the big boss heard you call it The Situation Room, he would get upset. But I thought that was funny, so I texted Matt Ellsworth and I said, "Hey, I was asking him about The Situation Room because I was doing research for the pod, and he didn't help me. He just tried to recruit me to go back to work for that place. And I think that was funny.
It's kind of funny. It's a little funny.
And that is why this is called the tall grass, not the situation room.
In case you're wondering, the reference of the tall grass, never have I met someone and instantly had so many inside bits. And if you're not familiar with what a bit is, it's, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just like an inside joke, I guess. Very few words even need to be spoken for you to understand. We must have an infinity amount. And so many that I can't even think or remember. And that's not even just because of the dementia.
We have some really good ones. Like, I feel like we should throw a couple out there, and then if they like them, they can ask about them. That might be content.
So when Jesse calls me or I call him versa versa, normal people pick up the telephone. Nobody picks up a telephone anymore. They click the button, and then their AirPod engages, and then they say hello. We do not do that. And I cannot remember the last time I said, if he ever answered my call and said hello, something is wrong. DEFCON 69, if you know.
Well, in fact, a couple of times, more than a few times, he's called me, and then I'll answer the phone the way I would just a normal civilian.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, hey, what's up, man?
And that is very alarming. I do not care for it. I hang up immediately.
He hangs up on me.
I try again because...
And then he calls me back, and then I say the thing.
You say the thing, which is...
Updates!
Always updates. So I call Jesse. He says updates. And then I say important updates. And then sometimes I don't even have any important updates. It's just fun to say. It's a good bit. We've been doing it for a long time. That's just one. Now, the tall grass, where did that come from? That is probably our OG bit, to be honest. Season 1. If you're not keeping track at home, there are 3 seasons on account of the quitting that you already referenced earlier. Season 1, 2019 is what I'm talking about right now. So the thing about flatbedding over the road is, and if you're not a truck driver, you're probably used to having all the plumbing you could desire on site wherever you're at. That doesn't always happen on the road.
Over the road.
Over the road. Or under the road. Sometimes under a bridge in your...
In any road adjacent activity in which you are distanced from conventional modern plumbing.
Exactly. And sometimes those hot honey roller chickens do be hitting faster than what your time clock will allow or the trip planning. Trip planning is an over-the-road term. We don't need to get into that. Yes. We're not over-the-road gang members anymore. Now, the tall grass, what does it mean? I'm coming back to it. Don't you worry.
Well, also, I think that if we're going to be historically accurate, which we will make every attempt to be, I think that in the tall grass is at least the second bit, because the first bit, which is tied to in the tall grass, would be expressing the panda.
I don't think we expressed the panda before we utilized the tall grass, though.
I thought that the tall grass was the first time was a Panda Express related casualty of content.
I know that Panda Express, expressing the panda was a lot of reasons for utilizing the tall grass.
Correct. I'm just saying, if you get the bigger plate, not the superlative like biggest plate, but the bigger plate, and you do some orange chicken and maybe some Beijing beef, there's a high likelihood that you are going to have a bowel movement.
Things will be defiled. But anyways, I digest. The tall grass. Hell yeah. What's up?
The tall grass. The tall grass this is like what do they call it? One of them double entendres?
Yes.
Entendre? Yeah. So the tall grass is like, that's where a fella might go if he needs to poo real bad.
Before we even realized what plastic bags were good for.
Yeah.
Or buckets.
I don't think neither of us had the fully contained bathroom systems in the truck at this point, because it was, like you said, season 1.
Correct.
So the custom would be to park in a somewhat safe manner along some major roadway and set the brakes, hopefully.
Nope. Sometimes you didn't have time.
Climb on down out of the big rig, and then you would go off into the tall grass or whatever foliage might be available so you can deposit the remnants of your last meal. Joe has a better success rate of making it to the tall grass than I do.
I was just going to ask, can I interrupt you?
Yes.
So right now, as of the airing of this podcast, episode 1 of the Tall Grass, this is a podcast, by the way.
This is a podcast.
The date is Thursday, October. I'm getting choked up just thinking about how far we've come. Is that call important? Because we're in the middle of a podcast.
If you have a 480 phone number and you're trying to call me right now,
We're not taking questions yet. That's at the end of the show.
when you are a high-profile person such as myself, it's difficult to set a time, set aside the time to make a podcast because I'm pretty sure, by the way, that was a telemarketer. So
Do you think that telemarketer even has a podcast?
I think that in this day and age, it's pretty likely.
It could have been a sponsorship deal we just threw away, which is fine because we're going to have so many rolling in after episode 1.
Our handlers have already discovered that we went rogue and started a podcast in your basement, and they're already lining up people to pay for this endeavor.
And that makes sense.
That's incredible.
Now, if I could circle back to where this began, it is October 30th of our year of the Lord 2025. Now, if you're familiar
It's almost Reformation Day. Shout out Lutherans. Okay. Sorry. Martin Luther nailed 95 Theses to the Catholic Church door.
Oh. Romans nailed one Son of God to a cross.
Okay. This is a podcast, and it is not about theology or religion.
I just thought we were talking about things that got nailed.
Your mom got nailed in the fall of 1978. That's why you were birthed in May of 1979. And on next week's episode, I would like to be able to interview your mother to see what kind of experience that was for her.
So it is October 30th. And in years past, you would always make a New Year's resolution. And my question is, we had 2 resolutions.
Yes.
Only 2 every year.
I was resolute about 2 things and 2 things only.
One of those would be you're not going to split the sleeper, which is an over-the-road truck driving term. Now,
I would usually break that around January 3rd, by the way. It was a pointless resolution.
And that's totally fine. That's the past. We're moving forward.
We
might have a mirror down here, but that's just to make sure that the camera doesn't turn off.
Okay.
But we don't check the mirror about what's going on behind us.
We only
except
need to know
this
where
sign right here. That is the only thing.
This is a podcast.
This is a podcast.
And it is a future-forward podcast.
Thank you.
Yes.
Have you split the sleeper this year, 2025, as of October 30th?
I have. Because I didn't get this job until January.
Okay, well, that's fine. We're only 0 for 1. You can recover right here. Have you... Now, number 2 is very important.
The second resolution that I've made for myself for several years in a row has been this calendar year, I will not shit my pants.
Have you?
I have not this year.
You've never been more back.
Unfortunately, the past, and we're focused on the future, but the past has taught me that we're actually entering a time of year where I'm at a much higher likelihood of shitting myself.
Because of the woods.
Because of the woods and the food. And we're coming into the holiday season in which people like to bake and saute and braise delicious foods that I will ingest. And sometimes I will ingest those foods at a time or a place, which makes it to where I am not in easy access to a restroom.
But as of now,
this is not a religious podcast. I've said this several times, but if you have it in your hearts to pray to whichever deity makes you comfortable about my incontinence for the rest of the year, I can take all the help I can get because there is, statistically speaking, probably about a 73.8% chance that between now, October 30th, and December 31st of 2025, I probably will shit myself.
And the other thing about the Tall Grass podcast is this is a judgment-free zone. That's a lie, but I feel like when I say it, it makes me feel better about myself as a human. But if you do happen to shit yourself between now and December 31st, I will not wipe your ass.
Neither will I. So what's next? Do we want to talk? Are we supposed to talk about previous Tallgrass experiences?
No.
Attention, valued viewers and or listeners. This
Yeah.
is an audio visual experience.
Mhm.
If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about this most recent segment in which we discuss loose bowels, feel free to ask.
But don't ask too many questions because I don't want to get into any HIPAA violations.
I am prepared to violate my own HIPAA for the sake of the pod.
And that's why you can find us exclusively on Grindr.
On Grindr,
Do you think mentioning Grindr over and over again is going to go well on the YouTube algorithm?
I think it'll be fine. I think that we would actually kill on Grindr because we would be one of the more heteronormative podcast selections. How many podcasts are uploaded exclusively to Grindr?
At least one that I can think of off the top of my head.
And it is The Tallgrass,
Tallgrass.
which is a podcast.
I have a question.
Schmog. Can we make union scale for this recording? Who's paying us?
All the unlimited amount of sponsors, probably.
This podcast is brought to you by George Soros. Donnie's going to hate that.
This is still a parody. I don't want to get sued. I don't have the funds yet.
This podcast is funded by George Soros, paradoxically.
And ISIS.
I tried to join ISIS, but I couldn't pass the ASVAB. My bum knee. I am circumcised, though, so I was halfway there.
You're circumcised?
I am circumcised.
Same.
Voluntarily or involuntarily?
Put her there.
Put her there. High five.
It's more of a low five.
It's more of a one. This is a heteronormative podcast. No one better
Better not
accuse
call me
us of
gay.
any kind of homosexuality over here. Don't mess with the algorithm.
How were you born?
I was born cesarean section.
Oh, I was born American.
My mother, whom I love, scheduled my birthday. So this is the interesting thing about me and Joe. Joe is a warrior of much valor. He is a veteran of the GWAT, the Global War on Terrorism. He's a veteran of that. He was sad in the sand. And I am technically eligible for veterans benefits on account of my mother scheduled her cesarean section on Veterans Day. So for as long as I am going to be alive, I also will get a discount at most major establishments on Veterans Day. So I was basically immediately born in stolen valor.
Well, if your mother is watching this, thank you for your cervix.
Talked about shitting ourselves. We've talked about your mother having sex. I feel like we've checked all the boxes.
All the ingredients are there for a hit show.
Yes. So in the Tallgrass there, that's a good name on account of we've already discussed the bowel situation. That's where you would evacuate your bowels in a time of need, is the Tallgrass. But it's also kind of like a reference to our conversational style, which could be loosely described as tangential.
My vocabulary is completely fucked. I don't know what you just said.
What that means is sometimes when we get to talking, it's hard to say which way we're going to go. You know, we'll just be going every which way. And sometimes people might refer to that as getting into the weeds. But we didn't call our podcast Into the Weeds. It's called In the Tall Grass. And that's because I personally am woke in the weeds, which means that I think that certain plants are classified as weeds, and I think it's BS. Earlier this spring, when I was in a place that I don't want to spot, I was in a place.
Understood.
It's close geographically to here. And I was there with a fella, and that fella was pointing out some arrowleaf balsam root. You know the one.
Sure.
And he referred to it as a weed. And I was offended. That's not a weed.
What is it?
It's a forb. Bears eat it. In conclusion, this is called the tall grass, not to be confused with the tall weeds. Although we do get into the weeds on certain things.
Are you perspiring? I feel it running down my man boobs. Now, if I could just point out the elephant in the room that a lot of you might not be too keen on, which would be weird because this is on a separate channel. So if you came here of your own volition, that's correct. Okay. Then it's on you.
I'm here of my own free will. That's another bit.
That's a good. That was a hilarious. But we can get into all these stories as the podcast balloons. However, I just want to bring out into the open what a lot of people might be thinking about on their own. And I don't like hidden agendas. What is it? Behind the back gossip. We're a family. You, me, them. We're a family. I say I love you guys at the end of my videos. You're just like, I'm unmoved by it.
We do a little sidebar here?
Sidebar.
Okay, so I appreciate what you're going for right now. Okay, I appreciate what you're going for right now, where you love the audience.
Yeah.
I'm indifferent to every last one of them.
Oh, that's because your mom did a lot of Tylenol when you
But my mom did mainline Tylenol and Diet Pepsi between my conception and birth.
That's a lot of tism.
And the thing I'm trying to get at is that some of these people, some of these viewers are not good people.
Okay, but can you just let me cook?
Yeah, I can let you cook. I'm just saying, the reason I don't end videos with "I love you" is because I'm bad at making videos.
Yeah,
and it's that I love some of them, but I would never tell them that directly because it makes me uncomfortable.
Okay.
I am fond of some of you. Okay, take it.
Okay, so now obviously it's been disclosed by yourself on your own videos in the past where you dabbled outside of the usual content that maybe a lot of your following, your fans, your audience, what they came to you originally for.
They came. Yes,
Can you just let me finish? Please?
Yes, please.
You won't, but I will try.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing about Jesse. Yes, he was really good at being a flatbedder. Tarping was immaculate.
Except at Menards.
Menards doesn't count. It's not a real place.
Okay.
Sometimes he pooped his pants. Whomst amongst us, though. Now, he also is known to have his own opinions and ideas. And sometimes he's dumb enough to share those with the internet. Well, guess what? A lot of people sometimes are not fans of that. And now you have a reputation of being a soy boy.
Correct.
Woke.
I'm
lib. And various other monikers. And I just want to say right now, those might be true. I don't know. But he's here now. He's on this channel. He's with me. And if you got a problem with that, punk, I will f*** you up. Okay, I don't think it's too aggressive. I didn't mean to. I kind of got on a roll right there. And I need to dial back.
If you have a problem with me and my composition, whatever percentage it may be of soy, Joe Seppi may or may not leave a strongly worded comment underneath the one that you made about me in a negative way.
Is there anything wrong with soy?
No, I don't think so.
Have you ever put it in your latte?
I don't think that I have, but I do mess with edamame. Are you familiar?
No.
It's like in the pod. It's like soybeans and the young soybeans that you steam in the pod, and then you squeeze them out into your mouth from the pod.
This is a pod.
Yes. This is a podcast where occasionally we will squeegee out soy pods so the beans fall directly into our mouths and we consume them.
As heterosexual men.
Correct. And that is why I'm sometimes accused of being a soy boy. That and the fact that I voted Democratic in 2024. Sue me.
There might be a lot of lawsuits coming our way, but that won't be one of them.
Okay.
But anyways, I just wanted to get that out into the open. I don't want to hide from it. I don't want to run from it. If you're here, it's because you think he is entertaining, which I do. Politics aside, ideas aside, You don't
This
even.
is not a political podcast. Occasionally, on a tangent, I might bring up once again the debacle of 1912 between Taft, Roosevelt, and Wilson, and I may or may not talk about Samuel Tilden in the election of 1876. But that's just the natural course of events. Who amongst us, when we get riled up, doesn't start talking about Samuel Tilden in 1876? We're all guilty of it, I think.
Taft was the fat one?
Taft was fat. He was also the only president to become later a Supreme Court justice.
Is that a conflict of interest?
We don't need to get into that. What is conflict of interest is discussing politics.
On a Tallgrass podcast?
This is the Tallgrass. This is a podcast. This is a non-political, possibly heterosexual podcast.
Okay, I guess we won't talk about NAFTA then.
Okay.
With that being said, you might be wondering, what is the purpose of this podcast? What will we be discussing? Well, in my opinion, and I haven't discussed any of this with you because we agreed that we wouldn't talk about any of this.
Save it for the pod, I said. Save it for the podcast.
You said that's your new bit.
Yeah, you started trying to talk to me at our place of employment. And I said, fuck you, save it for the podcast.
Right through that chain link fence. It was just like Red Dawn.
Yeah.
And you're my dad.
Wolverines.
Yeah.
I said.
And the idea behind this podcast is there is enough talking heads out there already giving hot takes.
From very far away.
Or close up.
Sometimes they're close up.
Sometimes. However, this probably won't be, I can't guarantee you because I just never know where it's going to go. But what I think this world needs, and the World Wide Web more than ever, is a place you can go and feel, I was going to say comfortable, but I kind of want them to feel uncomfortable. I don't want you to know what's going to happen next.
I agree. I feel like if me personally, as a person, as a human being, I do the best when I am uncomfortable.
That is correct.
So I would appreciate it if on Thursdays in your basement, in this poor lighting and poor acoustic area, you would take this opportunity during this time slot on this podcast to say things that make me uncomfortable.
I can try my best.
Okay, thank you.
I will not guarantee anything because I don't like to overpromise and underdeliver. Although my record as a delivery boy is pretty good. Like I've delivered everything I was supposed to.
Yes.
Which brings me to my next point. It actually didn't bring me to my next point. I just feel like that's a good transitional phrase.
Anyways, this is the tall grass.
This is the tall grass. This is a new age, a new era. Nobody is doing anything like this, I promise you. Because I don't really even know if that's true or not, and I don't listen to too many podcasts anymore. What you're going to get is whatever you guys tell us you want, really, because we are fresh out of ideas, and so we will come to you for all our content needs, which has kind of been our MO in the past. I don't have any good ideas. I just either steal them from Jesse or I regurgitate them from you in maybe a slightly more entertaining manner.
You know, we should, you valued listeners, you will tell us what we're supposed to talk about on this podcast. But one of the things that I would like to talk about is the many, many times that I have come up with hilarious bits that no one cared about them at all. And then Joe would steal them and then became incredibly popular.
Can I just
famous.
Can I ask you one question?
Yes.
How many snakes have you found this year?
1,
We're tied up.
2,
You found 2?
at least 2.
On record, documented?
I think I have 2. No, I have like, if we're counting the spring as well, I think I'm up to like 5 or 6 documented snakes.
Sidebar?
Yes.
For the interest of this bit, can you just say 0 so then I can be like the guy that's not a snake guy that saw
You
a
want to
snake?
steal my bits and my snake clout?
I just want to make you look a little foolish right now. That's fine. But it's going to be entertaining for you.
You don't fucking know dick about snakes, though.
That's
I think
okay.
they know that.
Dude, I caught a rattler. Did you see that thing?
I have caught 0 snakes this year. I am a snake failure.
I have caught 1. So your snake bit is eliminated. I am the snake guy. What I'm getting at is we will discuss anything on this podcast, be it current events, life on the road as we used to know it, I'm not afraid to delve into the past, are you?
I thought we were a future-focused podcast.
We're also a podcast that doesn't really remember what we promised.
That's one of the things that sets us apart from other podcasts.
And I think that's one of the reasons why Bosch and Loam is going to be sponsoring us soon.
Thank God. We're incredibly poor. I don't mind going into the past. I'll talk about the road.
I think a lot of our viewers and listeners that might migrate over from our former life as we used to know it might have questions.
I would like the opportunity to talk about my current life. Like maybe people want recipes that will satiate the hunger of 3 children at home.
Which is like hot dogs and macaroni and cheese.
Dude, shut the fuck up. I let you have the steak bit. Can I have a bit where I'm a good father and feed my children in a nutritious, well-rounded way? Thank you. This is now a turkey hunting podcast. I will talk to you all about what it's like to chase Rio Grande and Miriam's turkeys through the woods of northern Idaho and eastern Washington.
Can't you just go into like any neighborhood in rural Spokane or like suburban Spokane or just like downtown and find a turkey? It's not that hard. Those birds are just so freaking dumb. They're just like right down Main Street. You're going off into the woods like some kind of weirdo.
Hey.
Yep. No sidebar.
I let you have the snake bit. Can you actually? I'm trying to beat the soy boy allegations. I'd like to be known as a very good turkey hunter. Okay. And when you say that it's super easy to shoot turkeys, it's making it appear as though my hobbies are dumb.
I don't think your hobbies are dumb. I just think you're going. I agree.
In conclusion, this is no longer a turkey hunting podcast. So what do you guys want to talk about?
Should we try one current event, see how that goes?
We're going to try out a new bit where we find a current event.
Hundreds killed in Darfur hospital massacre. Your thoughts on AI?
I tried to get AI to make this poster for us, but instead we had to do it. Guys, I talked about this a little bit at the beginning of the podcast, but what I would like you to do is turn around with me and observe the S's. The tall grass.
Now,
Thanks.
The only thing I would like them to focus on is the grass itself, because I did the grass. The mountains here, or whatever that's supposed to be, I'm not going to say who it was. As an equal opportunity podcast, we don't shame, and we appreciate all of God's creations.
We have returned.
We are back. The camera moved, though, the lens.
We hired a producer for this podcast off of Temu.com.
Which, not a sponsor yet, however. Probably never.
Click the link in my TikTok shop. One of the bits that we're definitely going to be bringing back in the Tallgrass podcast is grifting. We are incredibly poor. We need you to send us all kinds of items and paraphernalia.
And I think that's where the yin and the yang, the foundation of this podcast is going to be, you're the soy boy, I'm the grifter.
Correct.
Take us or leave us. I hope you take us. You can leave us. I just hope you subscribe and leave this video playing and then leave us. After you give a thumbs up and a like and a share.
I want you to take that subscribe button. I want you to gently caress it between 2 of your fingers, preferably thumb and index. I want you to zoom in and then zoom out. Mm-hmm. And then once you've got the foreplay out of the way, I want you to go in for the danger zone. I want you to rail that subscribe button. And then you're going to take that bell post-coitus and give it a flick. So you can be notified anytime that the tall grass makes a new quality production. And as a reminder, this is a podcast.
The tall grass.
Thank you.
I really can't keep it together. This is going good, I think. We're really good at this, for starters.
I think that a lot of people would kill to have their first episode of their Dungeon Lair podcast go off as nicely as this one has up until this point.
I agree.
And then there's a lot of people that will see this first episode and say, I'm really glad that my first episode was not this disastrous. And that's because they didn't hire a producer off of Temu.com and they knew what they were doing, which is a luxury that we do not have.
Nor do we even want. Because this is an organic, authentic.
This is a genuine, tariff-free, made in the United States of America podcast.
Where freedom is not free thanks to your mother's cesarean section.
I was born on Veterans Day, and he is a veteran.
It doesn't get much more. I mean, we could literally have a bald eagle fly through this window, land on my shoulder, caressing your neck.
We both will be receiving discounted / complimentary ice cream cones from McDonald's on November 11th on account of his service and my cesarean section.
Also pancakes at IHOP.
Pancakes at IHOP. International House of Pancakes celebrates the day of my birth as a federal holiday.
The government is shut down now, though. Is that going to pose a problem?
This is not a political podcast. The government. Don't actually do that unless you use protection because they are filthy. They will give you diseases. The government is not a clean host for your genitals.
And with all that being said, we are now sponsored proudly by Antifa.
Antifa Corporate just sent us an email earlier.
I, for one, am very excited to see where this podcast goes. I would say it's going to be available where you get all of your podcasts. However, I don't know how to do that. So it's just going to be on YouTube for the time being.
This is an audio-visual experience.
Hence the visual.
This is the best blade. It goes behind the G.
G is the loneliest number.
Do you guys want to hear some real talk?
I think they do.
Do you think that we should
Hold on, let me prepare myself.
I'm going to keep it $1.78 with you guys right now. Is that a saying? No, it's not.
It is now. We are trendsetters. We don't follow.
Yeah, I'm going to keep it $1.78 with y'all. Here's the thing about Joe and I. We, for years, have fought on the front lines of the algorithm. I am a coward in real life. I never did enlist or serve our country honorably, even though I was born cesarean section on Veterans Day in 1992. I have no GWAT emblem badge ribbon thing. He does. But what I'm getting at is we've been on the internet and we've been making videos and we've been documenting our lives. I've been documenting very small pieces of my life. This idiot has been documenting every aspect of his life for years. But one big part of our lives used to be this company that we worked for, right?
Correct.
And they're a great company, but they are less great now on account of we don't work there anymore. Is that arrogant to say? They're fine. The company's totally fine. But what I'm getting at is we don't work there anymore. We spent years, literal years, like formatting this content to where we had this weird symbiosis. You got your thesaurus out there? You find a synonym for that?
I can Google ChatGPT.
We had like a mutually beneficial partnership relationship, our content and the place that we worked. And that worked out really good for all parties involved for a long time. But we don't work there anymore. And now we do work at a different place, but we've come to this thing where we've realized we still want to make content. We've enjoyed the process of being on the internet with you all, but we don't want to have it be like our work anymore. We want it to be something different than that.
Different.
And that's where you're going to help us by telling us what you want us to do and say.
Also, we're not going to rely 100% on you because we are creative geniuses in our own right. We're naturally...
Oh, this would be a good time to show off the poster again.
Okay.
We are creative geniuses.
Dude,
Joe Seppi did this blade of grass. It's behind this one. That's called layering. Get wrecked.
Jesse did the S's.
The tall grass. This is a podcast.
I think this is going really well.
I think it's going really good. Hey, we have a new job. Speaking of work, we got a new job. And you and I have finger fiddled our iPhones a couple of times in and around that task of doing our job.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day, very recently, we came to our job because we're good employees. Ask anyone that has ever employed us, and they will tell you, those guys, great employees. So we came there's a big sign in front of when we go to work, we got to park our cars, okay? Because we have normal jobs now. So we were driving our piece of garbage personal vehicles into work. And in front of the parking lot, there's a giant blue ass sign. And it says shit like, these things are not allowed on this premises. And then it'll say like firearms, knives, controlled substances.
Good attitudes.
In haste, at the very bottom, added on this like white placard that stands out like a sore thumb, they added video recording. I have no idea why they would have done that.
I cannot find a correlation.
What I'm trying to say is, even if we wanted to bring you guys along, show you like the
nitty gritty of our daily work functions,
our mundane piece of garbage local delivery jobs,
we are unable to.
We are literally not allowed to on account of we, much like Icarus, TikToked too close to the sun and it melted our feathers.
And our clout.
In our clout a little bit. So this is where you're going to help us. Valued listeners, please help us rebuild our clout and or wax wings. So we may once again enter the jet stream of the algorithm closer but not too close to the sun.
Also, the sun's kind of at a lower angle this time of year because of the solstice.
Also, if you're going to try to come in here and pick apart this last analogy I made, I will entertain that, but I swear to you, if you come in here and try to tell me that we don't live in a heliocentric universe, you can gaffro. This is a safe this podcast is for everyone. For flatbed drivers, for reefer boys, for piece of garbage men, for straight people, for queer people, for trans people, for zers, ends, theys, she's, he's, fellas, and fellettes alike.
Just not Cowboys fans.
Gals, dudes, and I'm fine with Cowboys fans, but one thing we will not abide is a flat earther. Get the fuck out of here. Is that too exclusionary? Should we welcome the flurfers? Anyways, rewinding.
We are a melting pot of ideas and peoples. We don't melt literal people. That would probably be a crime.
My name is Jesse Barrymore, and I am a fan of hot takes. And I will entertain your controversial ideas. For instance, I'm one of the last people alive to believe that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone. I'm that guy. But if you come in here and try to tell me that the earth is flat, what am I going to do? I'm not going to block you because I need the engagement. I'm not going to come after you because I have a job and a podcast that I have to do every Thursday. And plus, I have to go to my kid's school every Wednesday and volunteer. It's something that I do now. So don't ever schedule the podcast on Wednesdays.
What if a child at school on Wednesday comes up to you and says, this earth is flat?
You bring up a good point. This is a quandary you put me in. I will probably have to detain them and then call the police, and they will come from the station that you cannot see from the school on account of the curvature of the fucking earth.
In conclusion, this is not for children.
This is not a children's podcast. That's why I didn't bring my children to this podcast, and also there's not enough room on this bench.
Or enough microphones.
I made an analogy about Icarus and TikTok and somehow started talking about the flat earth. You can believe in whatever kind of earth you want to believe in. And you can even comment about it here. There will be literally no recourse other than me saying, by golly, I don't care for that idea.
And then you can count on me to have eyes glazed over until the subject turns into something I actually understand.
Do you want to talk about 1960s and 70s country music?
The Tall Grass.
A sports podcast from two guys that know a lot about sports. R.I.P. Barry Bonds. Is he still alive?
As far as I know, as of the taping of this podcast, Barry Bonds is still with us amongst the living.
Okay, so we pretty much, I think we about covered it because we talked about me shitting myself, Icarus, and Barry Bonds.
Barry Bonds coming back from the dead.
In the flat earth. I do not beat up children. If you left that part in, then leave this part in too. Otherwise, they have to go together.
I couldn't agree more. Do you know our local is 690?
Yeah, nice. Local 690. Teamsters versus everyone is what it says on one of our Teamsters t-shirts.
Oh, we're playing a game? Or like a battle? Or
Yeah, we're battling against everyone,
Everyone?
especially that one guy who may or may not be named Dave, who's not in the union and sorts pallets. Fuck that guy.
Get wrecked, Dave.
I'm not going to fuck him. Okay? Everybody relax. I'm just going to
Exclusively on Grindr.
exclusively. Anyways, what I'm trying to get at is, where was I going with this? I was just saying,
make videos on the premises.
this guy's complaining about having to sit in the dispatch office for hours on end, but he's making time and a half for every second that he's in there. So what you all need to do is collectively just tell this guy to chill out. He's getting paid to do nothing. That is literally the modified American dream. Speaking of getting paid to do nothing, we are now looking for sponsors for this podcast. It's called The Tall Grass. It is a podcast.
Sidebar.
Sidebar.
Do you think starting like episode 2, we should like actually have a format?
I think so, but I think we're gonna need them to tell us what the format's gonna be because I don't know what the fuck we're gonna talk about.
I don't even know what we're doing.
Do you think that they'll be able to tell that we don't know what we're doing?
I think my creativity ended with this sign.
But we're fooling them, right? Like,
They have no freaking clue, dude.
this
They-
is a professional production.
If you stop talking for 2 seconds and just listen,
Listening,
you can hear thousands, if not millions, of subscribe buttons getting absolutely destroyed right now.
oh my god,
You hear it?
I'm slightly erect.
Do you know? I still can't tell, but that's probably normal. Or
That's normal.
so, anyways, what I'm getting at is we will be filthy rich, whether we deserve it or not, On account of-
the viewers.
on account of my internet moms. It's like an army. They love me.
Attention, internet mommies and fathers and granddaddies. To all of my, I do have an internet granddaddy. He's the one that calls me soy boy every time I post something. But he's on every video.
It's
so
a good bit.
I also appreciate that he's from Londonderry, New Hampshire, where I was once robbed.
I think we should save all future stories for the next, because this episode is just about to wrap up on account of the time.
Okay. I don't know how to start a podcast episode. I also don't know how to do a podcast episode, nor do I know how to end one. But I'll tell you right here and now, if you're here, thank you. Please help us make episode number 2 better than episode number 1. Give us a prompt. Otherwise, we will end up in the tall grass, which is a podcast.
Hey, do you still have a guitar?
I do.
Do you know how to finger fiddle that?
I know how to finger fiddle it pretty good.
Do you think you could like finger fiddle us a song, like an outro, like when we're done?
Yeah, I could write us
Right.
a theme song
You've done that before. I've seen your work,
for the In the Tall Grass.
like a banjo. I think.
Like
would
my
be good.
OG YouTube videos used to have an intro that I finger fiddled bluegrass style.
This is what we need, but not bluegrass, tall grass.
I was also thinking about getting fat again, so I'd be funnier.
Oh, dude, do you want me to cut your hair?
Yeah, dude.
In conclusion, we know exactly what we're doing. This is all premeditated. It's part of the genius that probably won't be appreciated until long after we're dead, which could be soon if you guys don't like and subscribe on account of the impoverished nature of our podcast.
We are making this podcast from the basement of a 17,000 square foot mansion in suburban Washington. But we do need money, much like the church, who worships a guy that created all forms of wealth. Still need your money.
Should we flip the table over? Like Jesus?
No, because Jesus did that when people were selling things in the temple. And this is not a temple, it's a lair.
It could be a temple. Isn't it all within the eye of beholders? Shareholders?
Thank you for watching and or listening to In the Tall Grass, which is a podcast brought to you from the temple.
I also don't know how to end this, but thank you for watching. We love you guys.
I am fond of several of you, but I'm not committed to loving all of you just yet because I have commitment issues.
That doesn't quite rattle off the tongue, but it'll suffice for now. Until next time.
You guys can make a podcast and sign off from it however the heck you want to, but for now, all I'm going to do is say, in conclusion,
Whip around is working.
Whip around is working. Thank you.
Get out of here.
Dude, we've got 10 minutes of usable content on that for sure.